Good day, everyone. This is Pine Leaf Needles, and you're listening to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody, how's it going?
Hello there, Drac. How are things going over in Barovia?
SSDD. I cleaned that up for your sake.
Okay, the Piney friendly version.
Yes.
But yeah, so not much changing there.
No, not really. I'm dealing with lots of things, and gnome girls are escaping. There's fog everywhere. You know how it
is. You have gnomes all over the place in Barovia?
It's a long story. Right now, there is a couple people laughing at that joke. That is a very, very inside joke that a couple people are laughing at right now that understand it.
All right. Then, since the general audience won't understand
True,
let's then head into the latest on Update 47 Preview number 3. Anything exciting in here?
Well, maybe. Guess it depends what you call excitement. Yes, there is a new Lamania build. It is up and running now. If you're listening to this live, it is still up. If you're listening to the podcast version, you're not going to have much time. If my plan to release the podcast comes out when I wanted to, you're not going to have much time. The Update 47 Preview 3 is running on Lamania from 9:15 through 9:17. So not very much longer. So yes, Thursday, September 17th, Lamania will be shut off. If you are listening live, there is a dev event that is going to take place from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday, September 16th, which is right now when we're recording this. In an hour, the dev event starts. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you're going to have to time travel and go back. And we've discussed time travel before. It's very, very complicated.
Yeah, it's all this timey-wimey stuff.
Exactly. The exciting thing, though, is character copies are available on Lamania.
Okay.
Because character copies and world transfers are now open again. Yay!
Oh, world transfers are open?
In DDO.
Oh, okay.
Not in Lotro, just in DDO.
Oh, that's because the issue that they still have relates to kin house owners.
Okay.
I think is if you own a premium house and a kin, and you're the head of a kin, then you have trouble. But since they don't have premium houses in DDO,
yeah, apparently whatever there was some issue that I don't believe they ever said what the issue was, but apparently they figured the way around that and it's fixed. So yes, so that's a thing now too. So on Lamania though, the Update 47 Preview 3, a few new tweaks. The Bard class, a different tack in the swashbuckling Bard tree now requires you to be swashbuckling rather than single weapon fighting, which is in the swashbuckling tree kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
With the release of the shifter race, the racial completionist feat has been removed from players that had it. Of course, nobody should be shocked at this. This happens every time something comes out and you're a completionist, because you have to complete the new race to get completionist again.
Right.
The shifter, that is a hard word to say for some reason. Shifter pass live now require you to obtain racial completionist. Kind of makes sense.
Okay.
Several inherent feats no longer display an Arrhenius minimum level of 21. The bolt spell in the wizard and the sorcerer specialist now appear during character creation in alphabetical order instead of at the very bottom. Okay. Gnome and Deep Gnome Color Spray has been renamed to Greater Color Spray. Okay.
Okay, that goes with the next one.
Yes, the spell Color Spray is now a level 1 spell available in Wizard, Sorcerer, Bard, and Warlock spellbooks. It works the same as Greater Color Spray, but it does not cause helplessness. Okay.
All right. I guess that fits. I think they are doing that because I think in 3E it was a pretty low-level spell, at least basic Color Spray was.
I think, God, it's been so long since I played 3E tabletop. but that sounds right.
Yeah.
I do remember, I know the one person I played with always played a spellcaster, and they always used that, and we never got real high level because we usually started a new campaign or something.
Well, yeah, there is always that.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was fairly low level. I mean, I could like go across the room and grab my ebook that I can see on my shelf right there, but it's way far away right now.
Well,
Insert lazy aura here. The favorite soul should once again be able to select their level 20 damage resistance feats. And the Barbarian temporary hit points from Barbarian Occult Slayer's Vampiric Bond now scale as described. So that is it for the character tweaks. Once again, all this currently only on Lamania and subject to change, but they're testing this out to see how it works. This is what they want to do. So just keep that in mind. Some of this might change, as always, because we're talking about Lamania.
all right.
As far as items, the temporary hit points from the Blood Feast 5-piece filigree set, which are granted by activating a rage feat, are now dispelled by the Dismiss Rage feat. Celestia and other Sunblades now respect Strike Through. The Shard boarding pass cast time should be much quicker now, matching the total activation time of other teleport items much more closely.
Good.
And the price for an Immortal's Heart has been reduced to 2,500 Codex Ruins. It for items, quest, Finding Doris, they fixed a bug that would occasionally cause the objective, check to see if the fighter trainer is home, to never complete. Guess I never had that bug when I ran Finding Doris, but don't run it that much. But
usually when you get anywhere near him, you start hearing things.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I've never had that bug, but apparently there was a bug, and it's now fixed, at least on Lamania. And the last one is mounting will now automatically detoggle the Artificer Auto Rune Arm use speed, preventing you from being automatically dismounted. Which, that would be a bummer. I'm on my horse. I'm not on my horse. I'm on my horse. I'm not on my horse. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Glad they fixed that.
I noticed that the first response to this, now I was probably saying yay for the new release and all that stuff, but seeing that the last item is about the dismounting thing, it's almost as he's saying, yay!
Right, yay! I'm not going to get dismounted anymore. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. But there you go. Once again, 9:15 through 9:17, the money will be up. So good luck if you get on. It depends when you're hearing my voice.
Now, any hints yet on when this is scheduled to go live?
Nope. Not at all. I watched a little bit of the weekly Wednesday live stream today when I got home from work, and Cordobin did kind of drop a hint that pre-orders are going to be opening soon, but that's it. Of course, Update 47 is not the expansion, but it's kind of tied into the expansion with some things. So
yeah.
But yeah, so soon, I guess, maybe. But usually we've had 3 Lamania builds now. And usually non-expansions, I don't recall ever a non-expansion having more than 3 Lamania builds. The only reason why I could think of to have another Lamania build is something went horribly wrong. Which so far it seems like everything seems to be going good. So I would say within the next couple weeks maybe would be my guess. We would see Update 47.
Okay.
Once again, just a guess. I don't know anything.
You know nothing.
I know nothing.
And let's head into the DDO Chronicle issue 396, where are the scarecrow? The scarecrows or what?
Those are scarecrows.
Okay.
And a spooky moon and a crow.
And a spooky moon.
They're getting ready for October with the. Well, okay.
Well,
potato.
Well, I guess I'll tell you, is this at Ravenloft or is this someplace else?
It doesn't look Ravenloft to me.
Yeah.
But yet, I've never seen the skeleton The only other places are not skeleton. I'm sorry, scarecrow. The only other place I've seen scarecrows, not in Ravenloft, is outside Keep on the Borderlands. Because one of the bosses that you have to fight to get feathers to drop to get a horse is actually a scarecrow.
Oh.
So that's the only place I've ever seen scarecrows not in Ravenloft. So this, because just the background itself, other than the awesome moon, doesn't look Ravenloftish to me. So I don't know where this is from. It's a cool little header, though. Once again, as always, if you have any clue where this was shot, podcast at ddoplayers.com. Let us know. In our community spotlight, the long-running creator of a blog about monks, Teacher Sin, is taking the next step of creating a guild. So click over to read his blog post to see more about Teacher Sin creating a guild. Kind of cool. I used to read that blog for a while. Not that I ever played a monk, but it was just really well written. Fansite News, DDO Cast is talking about creating a stable of characters. So click over and check out the latest episode from DDO Cast. We got a shout out for our episode last week. Mickey is rating in week number 188. Click over, read the rundown from Mickey, still rating. God bless Mickey. Don't forget, Twitch is your first stop to find DDO, and that is on the official DDO stream. You can see Brighter Days Ahead, Raids in the Giant Hold. Brock and Friends have a Cobra Kai edition. I haven't watched that yet, but I want to see what they do about Cobra Kai. I'm very intrigued. Because if you haven't watched that show yet, do it. Good show. And Zyre Marsh does a 100 favor run. Elsewhere on Twitch, but not on the official DDO stream, Sig Trent is role-playing, and he tries out for the Harpers. Naval On shows the Kenneth Raid Club, and Earth Star DDO is running Reaper 10.
Reaper 10.
That's crazy. That's just the words Reaper 10 are insane to say. It's doubly insane if you're actually running Reaper 10, but good on you, sir.
Yeah, well, for me, Reaper 1 is insane.
Well, yes. One day we will get you into a Reaper. One day, Piley.
One day?
One day.
We'll see if we could break the record for fastest wipe.
Maybe. We'll see. Over on YouTube, also lots of DDO content. Axel is talking about Reaper, speaking of, and the self-healing. Sophia Plays continues a run-through, and Trunco, we'll go with that. DDO gets Too Hot to Handle as a guild. We, of course, as always, have a Chronicle comment. What is your favorite portend of a party wipe?
I'm trying to think. Somehow the word favorite and portend of a party wipe just don't quite mesh together.
Yeah, those words don't kind of go together, but, I mean, favorite is probably not the word I would use there, but.
Portend is when, to me, the most conspicuous one is when I see the message, the red, what is it, red alert, or is it?
Oh, yeah. Dungeon red alert?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually never good.
That's never good. Is it? Uh-oh.
Especially depends on what dungeon you're in, but that's usually never good.
Yeah.
My answer, I think, is when you see, be it a real player or a hireling, when you see your cleric die, you know you're in for a bad time.
When your cleric die, yes, the cleric dying is usually not a good idea.
Indeed. And, of course, the screenshot of the week we have, it's coming to us from Shrapnel. He's paying a visit to a relative in this week's screenshot, and that is from Claver for sending in that screenshot.
Right. Visiting a...
He's going to see the Lord of Blades.
Okay.
That's the relative he's saying.
Okay, seeing the Lord of Blades. All right, that's...
See, it makes sense once you know that, and then you see the screenshot. You're like, aha.
All All right. Let's then have a look at something that you promised last week, and that was we were thinking maybe it's about time we check to see how we're doing in our goals and make sure that we don't forget something.
Yes, I kind of jokingly said this last week, but then I thought, we do usually do this about at the halfway point of the year. We kind of revisit these just to see where we're at and see, as you said, we don't forget them and don't forget one of our goals. And for some reason, I don't know why we just didn't do it at the halfway point of the year. So I thought, let's do it now.
We might as well do it now.
So we will start with you because we know you probably already smashed all of your goals and you're making new ones up as we speak. He laughs. He laughs, folks. We'll see. Your goals this year, DDO goals, were to run all classes and races through Keep on the Borderlands.
All right, let's see. With that one, I've got 3 classes and 2 races left. So I haven't quite finished that one yet.
Okay, well, you're well on your way because it's, say middle of September. So you're well on your way.
Yeah. Now, seeing that one of the races I haven't done yet is the shifter, I think that.
Well, that would be hard to do. I mean, unless you would go on the Mania, I guess.
I guess I could have.
I mean, you could have theoretically done it that way, and then you would have had that one finished already.
I didn't even think of going to Lamania to do it,
but your other DDO goal was to start a new character and seriously learn how to survive with no level goal.
Yeah, that's right. Learning how to survive. I have been keeping a list of what I have learned in order to help me to survive better. Because let's face it, that isn't exactly what you would call a goal that has anything in there that says you made it or not in there. So I've been keeping a list of things that I've learned. And of course, I have noticed that when I started out the whole thing with Keep of the Borderlands, I could not get through it all without a cleric, right? Because I think more often than not...
I remember you talking about that a lot of the time.
Right? And very often I was saying, this is impossible to do without a cleric or anything like this. And right now, I keep on finishing it without a cleric. I think for the last... I think maybe only one character out of the last 6 may have needed one. Because all the others have managed to get through the entire keep without having to resort to one.
Right.
And some classes that survived through there are ones that I thought, couldn't do it, but managed it anyway. So that demonstrates that I am getting a little bit better there. I think part of it is that I learned from you about potions could come in handy.
So I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, too.
Yeah, because you were telling me how... Because you're drinking all those... You're always telling me, I was wondering, how in the world do you survive? And then that's where I learned that, you just buy potions at the vendor. Never thought about that. Because I always... So when I ran out of potions, I never thought about getting more. And of course, they stopped dropping after Korthos, so...
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes.
That's too funny. Well, yeah, because I just remember, and then the one time we were playing, you're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm drinking a health potion. And you're like, what? Oh, yeah.
That's how you live.
Yeah, well, because, the cleric has problems keeping up sometimes, so you kind of help your cleric out every now and again. You take a little swig.
And this, of course, went with the thing that I learned, because I think one of the first classes I ran through Keep of the Borderlands was the Barbarian. And their ability to heal at a shrine is abysmal because they have this low wisdom score, and it turns out that, of course, that you're at a shrine and the shrine uses your healing skill in order to tell you how much you get. Oops.
Oopsie.
Yeah. So I learned about that little details that I did not know about that until this year. I also learned how badly I use shields. That
Okay.
that I didn't realize that some of the
Which
benefits of a shield come from activating the shield.
which is kind of funny knowing what on the other game what your main character class you play as kind of uses shields all the time.
Yeah, but
So that's
DDO
kind of
uses
funny.
shield. Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
DD,
true.
yeah, because in DDO, in order to use your shield defensively, you've got to be able to activate it. I think it does have a passive element, but I think there's active
Yeah,
blocking.
I guess the games do use shields different. That is
Right.
very true.
Yeah. While in Lotro, when you're using a shield, you're using it as an offensive weapon
Right, true.
for
That's
bashing
true.
it. So there is that little difference there. And now I have to either A, learn how to use shields effectively, or switch to two-handed weapons, because at least then, if I'm not going to use the shield anyway, I might as well use a two-hander.
There you go. So it looks like you're doing pretty good on your DDO goals, at least so
Yeah,
far.
yeah. I learned how to use I learned how useful balance is. Oh boy, you know,
Yeah, balance does kind of come in handy at times.
yeah. So these are the things. So I think I'm getting better in survival in this. So
It kind of sounds like you are. Yeah, you're learning all these little small things. It sounds like so. Yeah, so good on you.
right. So okay, what's the next item?
You have your tabletop goals now. Looks like
Okay.
that was all your DDO goals. So you wanted to get Castle Ravenloft completed. Adventures 9 to 13 is what you were shooting for.
Right, and that's because those are the ones I had never done before.
Okay.
And I've got 4 of those done. I got 9 to 12 done, so I still have to do 13.
Okay. Well, you're again well on your way. You got plenty
Right.
of time.
Well on my way there.
Your next goal was participate in 6 solo cons.
All right. Now, my thing in this one was trying to define exactly what does participate mean.
And that's what I was going to ask you because that could determine if you make or not make your goal.
Right. Because at the start of the year, I was thinking, well, if I post at least one game relating to the solo con, that would be participating.
True. I mean, that seems like that's definitely participating. I mean, because
Right.
you did one game and however many games you could do. So sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll accept that as participation.
Then I was thinking, well, maybe 10 con points. That you get a certain number of con points depending on how well your game fits the theme and things like that. So I thought, okay, how about if I get at least 10 con points over a 2-week con for the games I played during the course of the con, and I'll call that participating. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Then a couple weeks ago, I was looking at this. I changed it to 20. So my current definition of participating is getting at least 20 con, and seeing how most of the other participants aren't getting to 20 con points over the course of a con, I think 20 is where I'm going to hold it in there. And so far this year, I have reached 20 or more points 10 times.
Okay.
So I think I met that goal at least.
I would say so. Okay. So far you're looking pretty good.
All right.
Your next goal was to participate in the Aeon's End Legacy Solo Marathon.
Yes, I participated in that one. I got my teeth kicked in. I was kicked through my teeth during that one. So, yes, I participated in that. Think I won the first 2. Then it was like getting killed, having to rest around, getting killed, having to rest around, then getting killed. Sounds like that in the way the rules are written in the solo marathon, once you lose a scenario, it's almost impossible to get back on track. And so I was getting rather annoyed in it at the end there because of that. But I did participate in it. I guess it's the best way of doing it. I had a character in there, and I got crushed at the end.
Okay. That seems to always happen.
That does seem to always happen, doesn't it?
And then you're fine. Oh, you got something else you want to add to the Aeon's End?
No, that's
Nope.
it for that.
Okay. Your final tabletop goal was to generate a top 100 solo games list, but note you must play all games in the top 20 this year.
Right. All right. Well, generating a top 100 list was easy enough, and of course, I've been making adjustments to it all throughout. So I do have a top 100 list. I do have it in order of favorite to all the way down. And as for how many I've played this year, according to my current records, I've played the top 52.
Okay. So you played off the top 52. You played each one of your top 52.
Yeah.
Wow. So you totally smashed that. That's crazy. So when are you going to share your full top 100 solo games list?
Oh, okay. Now, you notice there I said to make a top 100 list.
Yes.
I didn't say that I was going to share the top 100.
Oh, okay.
Now,
I assumed you would share it, but okay. I
I
understand.
could do that, but what I've decided to do is that I would, perhaps I could post that on the site after while you're doing this. And I am planning in December to have a podcast where I'll be presenting my top 50.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
And since I've played all 50 of those games this year,
Yeah.
it's because when you start getting down to the 90s or games like, you start to hit games that, oh boy, do I really want to play this?
Right.
And I figure, do I really want to have a list where the bottom 50 are games that where I'm saying, do I really want to play this?
Usually what I kind of dislike when people do like top 100 lists, because you, like you said, you know darn well like at least the bottom 20 or so are just games that they really don't like. That, I mean, they like enough to, okay, I'll put it on my list, but am I going to play it? No, probably not.
Yeah, so that's why I decided that when I publish the list, I'm only going to be publishing the top 50 because those are the ones that
Fair.
That I was actually willing to play this year.
Right. No, that's fair. Well, it sounds like you were well on your way to smashing all your goals again this year, which seems like the last couple of years you have met your goals. So good on you, sir.
Except for that time, I think I was trying to get that monk up to a high level.
Well, yeah. Oh, your poor monk.
Yeah, my poor monk.
Your poor monk. Do we have to talk about me now?
Uh-oh. That bad?
Yeah, that bad.
Because I know you were well on your way of getting somebody up to level 30, weren't you?
Yes, see, actually, my goal was only level 28.
Oh, 28.
Yeah, and I'm actually, I'm trying to think, on Wayfinder, I think I'm 26 and a half. And then
isn't Wayfinder the server where you could just, or is that a different one?
No, it is. See, I thought about that, and I'm like, that would be cheating.
Oh, okay. You're not going to cheat.
Technically, that character, I could eat that XP stone that we got because of the whole Wayfinder issue, and actually probably get at least to 28, probably almost to 30. But that would be cheating, so
okay.
I'm not going to do that. Or if I do, it won't count. I'm actually waiting for Rent and Tay to figure out what they're going to do, if we're going to create new characters and use that stone, or what we're going to do, because that's the server I play with, Rent and Tay, and sometimes Lessa when she can play. But over on Argo, though, I'm playing with Saba Jade and Patrick. The past couple times have joined us too. That character is the one that I think is going to end up actually hitting the goal. I'm 26 and a half, almost 27.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I'll get 28, no problem, before the end of the year.
So you're still playing that group reasonably well?
Well, define reasonably well.
Well, I meant that.
Yeah, no, we haven't played for a while, but that's because there was some like life issues just that got in the way with mainly on my side. But but I'm pretty sure I will be able to hit at least 28 on Argo.
Okay.
So we'll have that. And then tabletop goals. I had buy and start to play Gloomhaven.
You did do that.
Okay, well, I didn't buy it, but I did get it. So
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll have to count that because you're obviously not going to go and buy it if somebody
right,
sent a copy to you.
right. Gonna say I have Gloomhaven, so check. I haven't actually played Gloomhaven yet, but I have played Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, so not sure if that will count as Gloomhaven, but maybe I can actually at least sneak Gloomhaven to the table one time before the end of the year, so we'll see. So, half a check for almost completed, so not too bad. Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth, play at least 3 of the adventures. Gotten 2 done, so almost.
Almost.
So not horrible. And then my final goal was to play D&D slash DM, D&D with the undMables at least 2 times during the year. No.
Well, considering that we've had a
Right.
pandemic during the
Right.
course
Gonna
of the
say,
years.
but that was kind of due to COVID. So we'll see if that's so. That one I don't think is going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, I have a feeling we can't really blame you for that one.
Right. That one's probably not going to get finished, but we'll see. So I guess I'm not doing as bad as I have in the past, but still, like I said, we're only September the 16th, so plenty of time for both of us to run on these goals a little more. So we'll see what happens.
All right. So I think that's reasonably good progress. All we have to do now is wave a magic wand, have COVID disappear, and you can try to run with the DMables.
Exactly.
So let's go over to the tabletop. And find out what is going on at the Hill.
Yeah, Avalon Hill, there's some things happening over there, which we're going to talk about one thing in a second that I'm super excited about. But it was announced that Hasbro has now completely taken over management of Avalon Hill. So if you were unaware of the situation, of course Hasbro owns Avalon Hill, but WotC was the one that was kind of overseeing Avalon Hill.
Yeah, because I believe WotC bought Avalon Hill before Hasbro bought WotC,
yes,
which is why that.
If I recall correctly, yes, that is what happened. So Hasbro kind of got them by default when they bought WotC. So it's kind of just a big circle that completed. So Hasbro has just kind of let Wizards of the Coast take control of them. You know, I'm sure Hasbro had says in what went on or whatever. But now Hasbro has resumed control, all control. So, and they have control of everything Avalon Hill. WotC now is only doing Magic and D&D. That's the only 2 things WotC is concentrating on. But let's be honest, it's not like they did a super lot with Avalon Hill. They've only been doing like 1 game a year, maybe 2 games a year. So it's not like they've been doing a lot of stuff with Avalon Hill. But I mean, they have been releasing games. But now Hasbro is taking over management. So what does that mean? Are we going to see more games? Maybe. At least we're going to see one upcoming game.
Yeah, but let's see. That is thing what they are planning to do with it. Though, I guess because I still have this, I don't know about you, but when I hear the name Avalon Hill, I know some people are talking about what they consider to be classic Avalon Hill, but to me, okay, diplomacy, yes, very definitely classic Avalon Hill.
Yep, I'll agree.
Yes, but then I think of some other games which were, of course, sold off to other companies since then, such as Dune, which is now with another publisher.
Yeah, Gale Force 9 has that.
Right, yeah,
now.
Gale Force 9 is doing them now. Now, I remember Acquire, but of course, my copy of Acquire is back when 3M had it, even before Avalon Hill bought 3M's game series. See, we had Kingmaker, we had Magic Realm, which has been sitting nowhere for a long time. I just can't see Hasbro publishing Magic Realm, though.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, I actually, when I was writing this article, I actually was going to put like a list of some of the games that Avalon Hill, could republish. And it was a nightmare headache to figure out who has the rights because they have sold so many of their rights. Because like most of the early war games that Avalon Hill has done, GMT Games now owns the rights to. So, because I'm thinking, oh, they could bring back some of their early, war games. Well, no, because GMT owns them now.
Oh, okay. Oh, GMT owns a lot of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, and then there was like various other companies that own. So I don't know who owns what. I tried to figure it out for a while, and I'm like, this is too much of a pain in the butt to try to figure out. So, but I know a lot of people were saying they'd love to see some of their war games come back.
Yeah, but just highly unlikely under the Avalon Hill banner, unless it's something that GMT doesn't have.
Right, and and from what I could tell, GMT owns a lot of the war games. So I don't know. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what Hasbro does with them. They have a lot of games to choose from. At least I assume they still own the rights to. But it's like I said, it was a whole. I tried for a while, and then finally I just gave up because I'm like, this is way too complicated. Because it's like, okay, they look like, from what I could tell, own partial rights to this game, but somebody else is publishing it now, so they couldn't publish it, but they still own the rights to it. Just somebody else is, and it's just complicated. So we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see what Hasbro does with them.
Whatever it is, sounds like it's going to be complicated.
Hmm.
All right, now speaking of Hasbro and Avalon Hill, there is this little thing called Heroquest, which seems to be having a rather strange countdown.
Yes, this is like, what is this? We talked about Heroquest a couple weeks ago, if you remember. Restoration Games filed a trademark for the title Heroquest Legacies, which, of course, if you remember, Restoration Games told us don't read anything into it. We're just securing rights. We ever going to make this? Maybe, maybe not. Is this related to that? We don't know. There's a new, right after, it was maybe 2.5 days, something like that, after it was announced that Hasbro took over management of Avalon Hill, there was a website that went up. It is heroquest.avalonhill.com. You go to that website, you get a countdown. It has a skeleton pointing. It says Heroquest, and it's the old Heroquest logo and font, so it's old school Heroquest. The quest is calling. The timer started out at 10 days. Currently, as we record, it's 5 days, 16 hours, 17 minutes, and 47 seconds. What is this counting down to? We don't know. Presumably, it's going to be an announcement of something.
Yes, and it's rather strange that two companies do something, have rumors relating to HeroQuest near to the same time.
Yes, but
yeah,
what makes
here
this...
they posted, Avalon Hill posted theirs.
That's because this makes it why Avalon Hill can do this is, of course, Avalon Hill is owned by Hasbro.
Right.
Hasbro owns Milton Bradley, who originally published HeroQuest with Games Workshop. So, if anybody can legally do a HeroQuest game, pretty sure it's going to be Avalon Hill and Hasbro, because Hasbro owns Milton Bradley, who, as far as I know, still have rights to, I think. See, the whole we talked about this when we talked about the whole Restoration game. The whole HeroQuest IP thing is very strange and complicated. But as far as I know, I think they still apparently have the rights because they're going to announce something. So, speculation time. What the heck are they going to announce? The one thing I do know, like I said, I don't know anything, so this is all speculation on my part. I have actually reached out to Hasbro PR, but I have not heard back from them. My WotC PR rep was kind enough to give me a name and an email address of the proper PR person at Hasbro that I needed to contact. So I've contacted her, have not heard back. So we might have to wait until Monday, when either I get a press release or it's just widely known and I can, we can figure out. In 5 days, something is going to be announced, and it is related to Heroquest. The skeleton that is on this website, if you click on the skeleton, just to bring up the skeleton picture alone, the name of the file is Witchlord, which, if you remember, the final expansion to the original Heroquest game was Return of the Witchlord. Is that a clue? Are they trolling us? Who knows? And I just found it interesting that this JPEG file name was Witchlord. So there's clue number 1.
Okay.
Clue number 2 is, I don't know as much as it's a clue. It's just, if you look at the tabletop gaming space right now, because of COVID, of course, that we can't really get together as much, or if at all. Slowly, things are starting to get to where we can get together with people in game. So a lot of people are playing games just with their family or by themselves. And what is a good percentage of these games? They use an app to play their game.
Yes.
So my theory and my guess is we're going to see a reimagining, brand new version of HeroQuest that uses an app, so you don't have to have anybody be the DM. So it's going to be a DM-less, app-driven game that you could play solo or with people. That's what I say it is.
Okay. So since I'd never played HeroQuest, that
you're
implying then that there was
time out.
So you're saying that there was something similar to an Overlord in HeroQuest then?
Yes. One person was the bad guy.
Okay.
And then that person would, when people would move, they would roll. I guess we should talk about what HeroQuest is, which I cannot believe you've never played HeroQuest.
Oh, I think it's because it came out at a time when I ranked game companies that I would buy anything from. Milton Bradley was probably at the bottom.
Probably not one of them. Okay, all right. That's fair. Yeah, because it was a mass market game, so okay. That's fair. Okay, HeroQuest, you roll dice to move, and you're moving around a dungeon, and one player is playing which later is referred to as the Overlord. He sets the scene. So if you move 2 spaces, he'll say, okay, you can see 2 sets of closed doors. So he would put closed doors, was little cardboard cutouts of closed doors he would put down on the dungeon map. And he would say, you see a hallway. And then if the next person moved, would go to open the door. As soon as the door opened, he would say, you see 2 monsters, whatever, put the monsters in the room. You see a table and a bookcase. He would put little cardboard furniture in the room that had whatever it would be, or put the monster figure in the room. So you did have to have at least one person to be the Overlord, for lack of a better term. So that's why I'm thinking it's going to be an app-driven HeroQuest game.
Well, there is another possibility.
Okay.
And that is, what is the most popular dungeon crawler out there right now?
Probably, I would say Gloomhaven.
Right. Now, that does not have an app driven into it. So maybe they could have a version that has an AI similar to what you have in Gloomhaven.
I guess you could do that too. That's true. Sure. There's a lot of other speculation too that people are saying it's going to be a video game. But I don't think so, because the whole reason why people are speculating it's going to be a video game, It's just because on that countdown page, at the bottom of that page, there is a ESRB rating symbol there, which is what is on video games. But if you look, that is on every Hasbro / Avalon Hill page.
Even ones that had absolutely nothing to do in the world with any type of...
Yes. Even like straight, like if you go to Betrayal at House on the Hill, which has nothing to do with video games whatsoever, on Betrayal at House on the Hill's Hasbro Avalon Hill page, there is the ESRB logo. So that's why I don't think it's a video game. The only video game type part of it, I think, is going to be the app, which I think is what it's going to be. I think it's going to be an app-driven HeroQuest. Is it going to be a brand new HeroQuest game? Possibly. Is it going to be a reimagining of the old HeroQuest? Maybe, with changes, because they're not going to be able to use any of the Games Workshop stuff unless they've worked out some kind of deal with Games Workshop.
Well, Games Workshop can be a real pain to work out anything with.
Right. And that's, and then plus, like I said, as far as what I could tell, Games Workshop doesn't own the IP anymore at all. So I know for sure they're going to have to at least change it to that aspect to get rid of the Games Workshop stuff, which is like Chaos Warriors. Trying to think of what else was in there that was totally Games Workshop related. There's a couple other things. So we'll see. We'll know Monday for sure.
All right, so we'll find out whether it's something. Well,
We'll see.
I was joking. Call it Gloom Quest. No, just kidding.
Yeah. We'll see how completely wrong I was, but we will see.
All right, we'll have to see which of us is closer.
Yep. It will be interesting to see. But all I can say is shut up and take my money, Hasbro.
Well,
here's my credit card.
I want to hear it first before.
Nope. Soon as I see buy it now or pre-order it now, there you go. Credit card. Thank you. Sight unseen. Thank you. I mean, let's be honest.
Something like food or...
Food is irrelevant when it comes to HeroQuest, finally. Food means nothing. It's HeroQuest.
Well, you have the current HeroQuest, do you, or not?
Maybe.
So it's not like you need a new HeroQuest in order to play.
You always need a new HeroQuest, finally. What is better than one copy of HeroQuest? 2 copies of HeroQuest are the new version of HeroQuest.
Okay.
Which you've never seen that video, so you probably didn't understand that reference. But I will show you that video after the show, and you'll get that reference.
All right. So HeroQuest is calling, but what's it calling? We don't know yet. And it sounds like that Drac is going to be answering, most likely.
Yeah.
Then let's go and see what's on the screen, or... more like on the turntable, it sounds like, because the Quake soundtrack has been remastered on a 2 vinyl set. Really? On a vinyl set?
Vinyl, Pine Leaf. It took 24 years for this to happen. But there is a vinyl edition of the Quake soundtrack, which is amazing. And again, shut up. Take my money. Which, spoiler alert, they already did. This may have been ordered today. Yes. Of course, the Quake soundtrack, a lot of people are saying, is the best, most iconic soundtrack of all time.
I can remember the parts of the Doom soundtrack, of the original Doom soundtrack, but the Quake one just doesn't.
Oh, the Quake soundtrack was amazing. And the reason why it was amazing, because it was Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, which is why you had all those Nine Inch Nails references.
There you go. Yeah, I love Nine Inch Nails. They're like my second favorite band of all time, so I was excited to see this. But yeah, the Quake soundtrack is amazing. This is the first time it's ever been on vinyl. So this is a 2 vinyl remastered set. It's on 180 gram vinyl for all you audiophiles out there. People are really excited about that because it's going to be a good, high quality remaster of it. Trent from Nine Inch Nails actually oversaw the remastering of this, as he does with most of the Nine Inch Nails / Trent Reznor music that gets remastered. Trent does it himself because he wants it done right. There also was supposed to be a book with this.
But?
I do say supposed to. Trent's original vision of this was the vinyl set was going to come with a book that featured essays from the game's designers John Carmack and American McGee. Of course, they were the 2 people that were the heads of id Software, or ID Software. It depends how you say it. I've heard it both ways. I always said id, but...
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah, I've heard it ID Software too, but I think it's id. But anyway, but a certain, and this is what is on the pre-order page for this, a certain unnamed video game publisher made it, quote, impossible to include the booklet in the release itself. So they implore people, please do not go to the link that I put in the article on the page to view this book, or heaven forbid you click the print button and print out a version of this book to put with your vinyl, because we wouldn't want that to happen now, would we? So do not click on the links that I provided to you so you can print a copy of this out yourself. I'm telling you not to do it. There's a link there, but please don't click that link, because that would be wrong to do that.
Of course, it would be completely wrong to do that.
Do not click. Once again, do not go to the website and click the link that will send you to Nine Inch Nails website where you can print this book out. Please do not do that. I ask you, please do not go print that out.
I don't know. I just think there's a slightly ironic tone to that.
So yeah, you can pre-order this now. The exact date of the release, let me look 1 second here. I don't remember seeing an actual release date for it. 1 second. And I haven't got my confirmation email yet because I did this right before the show either. Yeah, I don't see a ship date, but it says add to cart and not pre-order. So I'm assuming this is ready to go. So once you order it, you should get it. But I will report back soon when I get my email back. It says it's shipped, and then I might even do a video of this. An unboxing of a vinyl set. Why not?
An unboxing of a vinyl. Now, do you have a really deluxe turntable or something to go with it?
I mean, it's not super high end, but I have a nice turntable. I mean, it's not like, super high end, but it's not a little crappy suitcase turntable either. So
okay.
I have a mid-range.
All right.
I mean, I think it sounds good. All my vinyls sound good. Yeah, I'm a huge vinyl nerd, so.
All right.
I have like way too many vinyls, but can you really ever have too many vinyls? See, it's just like having too many Heroquest, finally. You can't have too many Heroquest, and you can't have too many vinyls. So I would say shut up and take my money, but they already did. So thank you for shutting up and taking my money, I guess.
Okay. Then let's head into what we did in gaming this week.
Crickets, tumbleweeds.
Well, what about what we did together?
Well, I could talk about that. I did technically shoot some videos that were game related for the site.
All right.
But nobody's ever gonna see them because. Pro tip for you: when you're shooting a video, make sure you turn your mic to the on position.
Well, considering the number of times where I have had little technical glitches when I've attempted to record a video,
So yeah. Oh, I was
I
so
could
upset.
understand that.
I was so upset. Yeah, I did 2 unboxing videos, and I thought they went real well. I'm like, oh, those were awesome videos. That I think those are going to turn out well. Took them to the computer, put them in the computer, pulled them up, started to edit them, and I'm like, why is there no audio? Why can't I hear anything? And then I went back out, looked at my microphone, and I was like, dope. So yeah, look for the reshoots of the unboxing video, which is going to be weird, but we'll see how that
Yeah,
goes.
because it's hard to do an unbox because you
Right.
you have to rebox before you can unbox again.
Exactly. That's yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know what I'm going to do, but we'll see. But yeah, we last Thursday played because we play on Thursday nights. We played ESO this week. We haven't played ESO for a while, so we decided we would play that. And we started in on Greymore, which is the new Western Skyrim area. And of course, that is the whole vampire storyline. So we fought many a vampire. We even made a vampire friend.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's went good so far, I think. It was just kind of remembering. It's been a while since we played Elder Scrolls Online, and I was like, what does this button do again? What's my skill for that? What is? That's how that worked. Yeah. So, yeah. So that was fun. So yeah. So I think what we've decided for our gameplay, I think what we're gonna do is 1 week we're playing DDO, the next week we're playing ESO. At least I think that's what we decided we were doing. Yeah.
Something like that.
So this week should have been DDO, but we're not going to be able to play this week. So we'll probably, I don't know if we'll do DDO again next time or we'll do ESO. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But you'll find out in the next podcast when we talk about our week in gaming.
Right.
So it looks like you did quite a bit, as you always do, though.
All right. I'll begin with SoloCon, since we had a new SoloCon start last week, which is West was the theme for it. Looks like it's going to be cardinal directions are going to be the next few SoloCons. So the first one is West, and in order to follow the theme, the game has to either be set west of where you are, which means depending on what part of the world you're in, could be a different place. For example, we have one person there who lives in the Netherlands, so I guess anything set in England would be west for her.
Okay. Well, that explains how one of these games is on this list then, because I was trying to figure out how you made this into the West theme, but
all right. But
okay.
That is right. So the second possibility is if it has the West in the title, then it counts regardless of what direction it is.
Naturally, yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
And the third possibility is if it is something that is, see, west of you has the word west in it. I forgot what the third possibility was. But anyway, the first game I had in there, set in the Wild West, whether or not West was in the title. The Wild West would count regardless. So yes, Wild, and the third one has the word Western in it and is set in the Wild West, and that is Tiny Epic Western, where I haven't played this one in years, but I brought it out. And I think I finally understand how the game operates, because I think the last time I played it, I couldn't really figure out the game, which gave me a lot of trouble in there. But I think I started out halfway through here, get through the game, and I was on the learner mode because I couldn't remember how to play it or anything.
Well, yeah, if you haven't played it for a while, I
haven't played for a while, and I didn't play it very well last time. So this time, I think I started getting the better idea, and I think I had a better feeling about how this game was than it was the last time I did it. Because I think that before I played it, I had it somewhere in my list. It was somewhere in the 120s or something like that. You know, so we're talking about way down at the bottom of the list. So I did bring it up into the, I guess, 90s or 80s or somewhere like that. So that's in the top 100. So that's an improvement.
Oh yeah, there you go. Moved up a few notches.
Yeah, so knows me. We'll see if I have a chance to play that a little bit more at some time in the future and see whether that goes up or down after that. The second game I played was Battle Cry, which is the Command and Colors game that's set in the American Civil War. And I chose the Battle of Wilson's Creek. Wilson's Creek is in Missouri, so it's even west of you.
Yep. Side note, I've actually been there.
Okay, so you've actually been there. All right, good. Yes. So it's the Battle of Wilson's Creek, so therefore it's well west of me. So I thought, in fact, I believe it is the westernmost scenario that's included with the box.
Oh, okay.
So that's the reason why I chose that. At first, when I was thinking doing Battle Cry, I was like, well, maybe I could do a scenario in West Virginia, so the word West could be in that way, or a battle from the Western theater. And I found that most of the Western theater ones are more south than west of where I am, because it tends to be in places like Arkansas and Tennessee and stuff like that. So that's why I chose the Trans-Mississippi battles instead, and took Wilson's Creek because of how far west it is. And then finally, the one that you're most likely wondering, how in the world did it fit this theme, is because it is set in Oregon.
That's when I said, oh, okay, now it makes sense how you... Okay.
Right.
I was really confused when I seen this on your list.
Yeah, but you can't get much more west than the Pacific Coast.
That's very, very true.
And that is The Goonies. And as I was playing this is the closest game I recall having, because the last time I did this, I looked at this and saying, is there anything that you have even the slightest hope of even thinking that there's a possibility that you could even get close to winning?
That's what I'm saying. You cannot win that game. It's impossible.
Well, at the end of this game, all I had to do was survive one final round of the escalation phase for one more round. If I survived that escalation phase, and at that point no location had more than 2 obstacles in it,
wow,
then I would win the game.
Good on you, sir.
And this is despite the fact that every single gem was the 3rd item in its stack. I mean, I had the worst possible gem layout, so that means I hit every single booby trap in the game. And so here it was. I had this only one tile I had not yet turned out, and that would have to be the last gem. And all I do is survive this last escalation bit. Now, unfortunately, the location that had 3 in it was location 4, and location 3 and location 5, of course, their special items were move any item goes here to location 4. And so therefore, that was it. Because so there, of course, the first one I chose is 3 double chevrons.
Wow.
All right. Pull over the next one. 1. Okay, well, at least it's 1. Double chevrons.
Oh, jeez.
Pull over another escalation card. 5. Triple escalation.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that I still go down on record as saying that game is impossible to beat.
Well, I was 1 card draw from winning that game.
Yeah, I cannot.
So I can't say it's
good
impossible,
on you.
Because
good on you. That is close. I've never even got that close. So good on you.
Yeah.
Now that makes me want to go play that right now and see if I can actually beat it.
Well, or at least get close or anything like that. But anyway, I at least was close, but not close enough. In other tabletop games, I received my copy of Eon's End Outcast, which is the latest release for Eon's End, which is wave number 5. And I went through the storyline and expedition that comes with it there. And it looks like this time around they decided to hire a writer to help them with writing the story. 'Cause I think it I think that certainly went a bit better than their writing usually does when they try to do narratives like that. And the other and I think I had some things went pretty well on that. Certainly went a lot better than that last turn with the Goonies. Then in Star Realms, I went and had a battle against the Nemesis Beast, which is, I think, the fifth boss I have gone from that set. So fifth or sixth boss in there. So there are a couple more I still like to go and see if I can finish out all those bosses someday. Then in tabletop apps, I played Burgle Bros, where I had my acrobat try to do an office job. And I did this for a video. So I did the shortest one, the office job on that. And despite having a yappy chihuahua for me, and the last time I played, where I also had the chihuahua, where I was playing the Raven. And when I was playing her, that that dog seemed to like to take every single opportunity it could take in order to bark. This time when I'm playing the acrobat, that dog just shut up all the way through. It didn't yap once, which probably accounts for why I managed to get out of the building with the loot. And then also on the apps, I played Carcassonne, the base game on there, trying to sharpen up my Carcassonne skills a little bit there. Then I played some Mystic Veil with the Mana Storm expansion, and I think that went. See, I think that went reasonably well, and there was at least a. See, how did I say Mystic Veil? Ah, yes, there. Yeah, I. All I put down is that I did manage to win that game in there. Then I pulled out a game that I bought several years ago and never bothered to play. I don't know, whenever I heard people talk about Race for the Galaxy, they're always talking to me about how they could never grab hold of the iconography. So that was the iconography always confused them and all that stuff. And I was, as a result of that, afraid to try the game. So I've decided to finally go, let's try Race for the Galaxy. I've been playing the Roll for the Galaxy app, so let's go and play some Race of the Galaxy and see how I went against it. I went to tutorial, played the game against the easy AI, which wound up beating me, which obviously meant I didn't quite learn enough from the tutorial at that point. Then I decided to play another game round of it, and this time I was getting better on the feel of it. And the iconography is close enough to that of Roll for the Galaxy that I was able to pick on that without too much trouble, except for a couple of unique things. But now I think I'm able to absorb it all in, and I was able to really smash the easy AI into the ground. So that must mean that next time I play, I'm going to have to pull out the medium AI and see how I do against that. Then I pulled out Star Realms, and a while back ago, I had started the campaign that comes with the Star Realms app and never got very far. I played the first scenario in there. I got kicked in the teeth. When the second scenario, after I won the first scenario, second scenario, I didn't do all that too well. So I decided, all right, let's try it again. I restarted the campaign, won the first scenario. Okay, that's no shock. Ran the second scenario, and I was kicked completely in the teeth. I'm wondering what is going on in here because I don't know. I was just butchered in there. So I thought, all right, let's try it again. So I tried it again, and I was thinking, well, okay, I'm going to get butchered here again. And well, that time I won. That did the third one, which is the third mission is a survival mission. I don't know. Have you ever played Star Realms on the app?
I haven't even played Star Realms.
Okay, yeah. So the third mission is a survival one, meaning you don't have to necessarily defeat the opponent. You just have to survive a certain number of turns. Now, I misread what the requirement was. I thought you had to survive for that your goal was to survive for 20 of your turns in order to do it. And I got through in there, and I was getting to a place where I just had my 10th turn, and I came about, and just after that, right, I think it was like right after my 11th turn, the enemy comes in and butchers me to pieces. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. And then it said perfect victory, which means that, oh, I had to survive 20 turns total, including mine and the opponent's. So, I thought I was getting butchered when I said, no, you had a perfect win. Because what happens is if you survive a certain number, you get one star that you survive for, I think something like 13 turns or 15 turns. The next level was getting for next stage up, and then the final stage, the perfect win was doing at least 20. And somehow I did that despite the fact that I thought I was doing really bad, and got that little surprise because that was the first time I got 3 stars on any mission in that game. So that's how I'm doing on star rolls. Maybe I can continue on with that mission, because right now there are 6 missions per chapter, and that there are currently 20 chapters out there. That's 120 missions.
I say that's a lot of missions. Holy crap!
I don't know how far I'm going to get in that, because that's a lot of missions.
That's a lot. Jeez.
Yeah, and well, you could start any chapter you want as long as you've bought the expansion associated with it. So you can start any chapter. It's just that you can't start later missions in the same chapter until you've beaten the mission before it. So that's the thing that I have to keep in track. And that's what I did in gaming. We currently have 14 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, you can go to the Legends page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money would be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you would like to just donate without using Patreon, you could contact Drac at ddoplayers.com. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send one, you can send it to podcast at ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Draculetta at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles. You could also go to Twitch to follow Drac on Draculetta_72 at Twitch. Though I think it's been a little while since you've streamed anything.
It has. That's going to be rectified soon, though.
Very well. The Players Alliance has 3 shows on Mondays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have, actually, we need to update that because that's on Wednesdays now.
I had thought we changed that a long time ago.
Oh boy. Yes, it's Wednesdays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. With DDO Players, how many weeks have I been announcing this wrong?
I'm going to say, I'm going to have to go back and listen to the end of last week's show and see if you said Monday or Wednesday now. I'm curious.
On Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. UC time, we have a load of players news. And if you follow at XP Quest on Twitter, you'll know when their shows go live, because apparently they like to start their shows at a random time, at a Pineleaf unfriendly time, but that doesn't matter because I heard that the content is also Pineleaf unfriendly.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't last like 2 seconds into that show.
All right. If you would like to join us for the show, you go to doplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to socialize responsibly.